Howdy folks, A-Train here with you for a new game in my library, SeaOrama, World of Shipping, now available on Steam. It's from SeaOrama, Hidden Tower, and published by PID Games. So says experience the challenges of running a successful shipping company. SeaOrama, World of Shipping. It came out December 14th of 2023. It's got mixed reviews currently, and I attribute that partially to the fact that they just released a patch about a month ago, and a lot of those reviews were prior to the patch. I think a lot of the issues got addressed. Hi, B-Lover. Welcome aboard. How are you today? Appreciate you being here. I hope you've had a good Manic Monday. It's in the rearview mirror now. We're pressing on for Taco Tuesday at this point. So, yeah, there's a link in the description below for the game. Make sure to go check that out. Let me know if the music's too loud. Why did you stop the jazz music? I like the jazz music. The music is nice. It's chill. It's cool. So, let's get into this. First look here on the channel. Full disclosure, I now have about 27 hours in the game. I got it last week on sale. It was like 10 bucks. Now it's back to its regular price. Still a good value. If you like management games, this is pretty fun. I've been enjoying it. I started a test game, but I've been discovering new things along the way of, you know, how to play the game. It's kind of important. So here we are. Ta-da! SeaOrama, World of Shipping. Just going to call it SeaOrama going forward. And pardon me, I have some congestion I'm dealing with, and I apologize for my absence the last couple of weeks. I didn't have air conditioning here in my apartment, and the doofuses couldn't figure out the words coming out of my mouth. And I went and bought a window AC unit that was really loud, so you wouldn't want to listen to that in the background. So there's some options to playing the game. You can play a ranked game, hopefully not stinky, but ranked. You can play against other AI companies, and you can play solo without any limitations. Now that's what I'm doing here, is playing solo without any limitations, because I wanted to learn how to play the game before I have to kick everybody's ass, you know what I'm saying? If you're not familiar with this, and it's interesting, you'll see when we load into the game, there's a lot of tidbits these folks do. The SeaOrama group itself is interested in educating people about shipping, because like the vast majority of products in the world at one point have been moved by ship. Just like I like to talk about, a lot of things here in the United States have been moved by rail. A lot of your raw materials, a lot of your stuff, anything made in China, Japan, all that gets moved by ship around the world, right? But there's stuff made everywhere. You know, there's a lot of things. Countries may mine materials, they may extract materials, they may produce things or whatever. And that gets moved by ship. So what you're looking at here is a container ship, which relates, of course, to railroading, because these containers, which I'm guessing are 40-foot boxes, those get offloaded from ship. You see the trucks rolling by, they're intermodal containers. They go from ship to truck to rail, or ship to rail to truck for delivery to customers. So it's pretty cool. Let's see, is there anything fancy? I mean, there's a tutorial, and that helps, but I'm going to tell you some things the tutorial doesn't tell you. We'll go through kind of how the controls work in my existing game. And then we may just do a new play so you can kind of get a feel for it at some point. There's a leaderboard, there's credits, there's workshops. Packages is things you can download. In this case, I've downloaded the Global Port Expansion V.1 because it upped the number of ports and canals. I'm not sure about the canals part, but it added new seaports for you to use, so that helps. Of course, you get out here, load here, settings are here, and we can do all this stuff here. You can mute all that stuff. Boop. Maybe. Oh yeah, if you hit apply. I don't want to hit apply. It's FPS cap and all that stuff. So there's your controls. And so what we'll do is we will load into my game. And I'm going to walk you through the processes related to the game. Look here, cargo ships pay an average of $188,000 to cross the Panama Canal. In some cases, transit fees can even reach up to $1 million. Biggest passenger ship is 5 times the size of the Titanic. Ooh, that's fun. Enjoy that. In a lifetime, the biggest bulk carrier transports approximately 48 million tons of ore. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuffs. So you got 3 basic ships here. You got, let me see, make sure we're in pause mode. Every time your ship encounters an issue or is like reaches a port, you get a report and everything. You get pop-ups on the screen. You'll get a report down here on how much money you made or lost. Hopefully you don't lose. So that's good information that comes up on the screen. But the game pauses. There's 3 speed settings. This was a complaint it seems like people have, is they wish there were a quicker one. So basically we go day by day, and you start with 2025 and up to 2040. So yeah. Over here you see the ships in your fleet, and you can collapse these lists like so. So they're broken down into tankers, containers, and bulk carriers. So container ships are what you just saw on the screen a minute ago. They have the intermodal containers. Tankers carry your liquefied or gaseous commodities, and bulk carriers carry solid stuff. All right. You can name your ships, stuff like that. It'll tell you here the name of your ship, what type it is, where it's going or what it's doing, how many contracts it's got on board currently, the speed it's running at, how much fuel it's got, where it is in its journey as this ticks down. Like this one traveling to Puerto Rico, it's almost there. This one's in port, this one's loading, and this one's on the way to San Lorenzo, which the chunky A is the blue, so you can change the colors of the different ships. So here's MV Chunky A. For those of you who may not be familiar, Chunky A was the alter ego of Arsenio Hall back in the 90s during his TV show. He did a fat person thing, and he was a rapper, and he did an album. I had it. It was kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, it's a big ship. It's a big ass ship, and so I called it the Chunky A. I got 2 container ships. These are Panamax ships, I think, which means they are big enough to fit through the Panama Canal. And then we've got a bulk carrier. So this carries 305,000 tons of stuff. These 2 carry 95,000 tons, and this one carries, wait, this is the MV Hercules carries more. 250,000 tons. Now my first ship only carried 50,000 tons. So, but that's your starter, okay? And you can make money doing that. You'll make money, and it just takes some time and whatever you build up your way up. So here's your information overview for operations on the screen here. So I click on a ship, right? I pick whichever ship, like Chunky A, or in this case, the Hercules. And it shows an icon here, which will tell you that this is, you know, a bulk carrier. And it's a Malacamax bulk carrier. I'm not sure what Malacamax means. You got post-Panamax containers, very large crude carriers, post-Panamax containers. All right. So post-Panamax, I think, is because they rebuilt some of the locks on the Panama Canal to handle bigger ships. Because up until they did, ships were limited, you know, in a lot of cases, by the size of what would fit in the lock at the Panama Canal. Okay. The information you're seeing here, so different types of ships. 5-star, I'm not for sure what the 5 dots mean. I think it's because it's in good shape. And then the A, or B in this case, is the eco rating of the ship. So is it being a good steward of the environment? And that's important in shipping. They're trying to improve that. I get it. These things burn a ton of fuel moving around the world, but it is the most efficient way to move things in mass quantity. Hercules showing a B. It really should be an A. Overall, my company's an A rating. You may know Hercules is C-130, of course. That was my airplane. Starlifter was the C-141. Triple Crown is the former Norfolk Southern road railer trains. And then Chunky A, I explained that already. So there's all that. So here we show MV Hercules, which is, I think, a marine vessel or motor vessel. Whatever. And I named it that, so you can rename your ship right here. You can put in whatever you want to name it. You can call it the SS Lollipop or Minnow or whatever. It tells you the type, how old it is. Now, I came up against this a minute ago. Well, not a minute ago. Yesterday-ish. I ran one of my ships to its full age and then wound up having to scrap it and only got a couple of $1 million for it. Don't do that. Run your ships 3/4 of their lifespan and then sell them so you get some money out of it. It tells you where it's at, what it's doing, the daily cost of operating a ship. This includes your crew plus the extras for their basically their daily, what they're due, cost and everything. Total value of the ship is here. Here's your storage. Okay, currently we're storing 144,000 out of 250,000 tons. Fuel capacity is 2,000 tons. And that gets repeated over here in the fuel panel. Okay, tells you how much you burn per day. Trip consumption is indicated here because they're loading. Okay, let's look. Rename, overview. And here you'll see kind of pictures and stuff. Video, stuff in the screen. It's nighttime, so this may be where we get some of our screenshot stuff. Hopefully I can get this off the screen. I have to figure that out. Anyway, so we let me see. Click on this. It takes us back. All right, there we go. So you got your facilities and upgrades. All right, so facilities are various things that you can install on the ship to benefit the crew comfort. You have a gym, a movie theater, library, entertainment room, internet, and a sauna. Okay, you do that here with this button. This button here is your excuse me, oops, your upgrades. Hello? Why did it not go to the upgrades? Huh, that's curious. Or maybe a bug. All right, we'll go over those here in a minute. Upgrades are technical upgrades to the ship. It makes it more efficient, makes it burn less fuel, more eco-friendly. Weather radar, navigation this, upgraded engine parts that, things of that nature. So you can sell it, scrap it, or auction it off. Excuse me. Then here you have your logbook, and see we went through a storm, so we suffered a little bit of damage and had to do some repairs while in port. And we can't. This ship is not a shipyard. Actually, now we're setting out for the next trip, so we're not going to be repairing. But we came out of Trieste, which is Italy, and prior to that we were in Newcastle, Australia. Prior to that we were in San Lorenzo, which I believe may be where we're heading back to. Port San Lorenzo is in Argentina. Active contract remaining, one trip remaining. We have 33 days to deliver from Port of Trieste to Port San Lorenzo. This indicator here means you're going through a canal. This here is pirate activity. This and this are good questions. Not sure what those are. Here's what our load is, which is something saturated acylic hydrocarbons, basically gas, some sort. 283,000 tons. We have 33 days to deliver. Well, that's what the trip is looking to be. We have 40 days till it expires, and we're getting a flat fee of $12.292 million. So stop at port, move, and fuel stop. That's other stuff that comes up when you're setting things up. Over here's our crew, and we can look at them right here. Excuse me. So you have to pick your crew members, and I'm going to show you this in a minute because it's important in understanding this and not getting yourself stuck. All right. John Hill's a 3-star captain, 6 years experience, age, blah blah blah, how much he costs, where he's from. He's level 3 of 3. You can be 1 to 5 stars per person. How many events have occurred, and how many days he's been on ship. All right. And the morale. Okay, you look at the profile here, boom. Now, here's those details things. Okay, so this is kind of what I was mentioning. I want to go look at new people here in a second to show you this. This detail thing, excuse me, let me get some water, is important because if you don't meet these details, then they'll get unhappy. Okay, so early game, you want people with a short list of stuff you can actually meet, which the eco rating is pretty easy to meet. Just don't be freaking trying to get this around the globe at warp speed. 10 knots is a good speed. All right, if you plan your trips right, you shouldn't have any problem staying in that range. The ship condition being better than or 70%, some are 80%, some are 90%. Pretty straightforward, and you can set up an automatic deal to make sure your engine and hull get repaired regularly to keep your ship in top-notch shape. Facilities, like I mentioned earlier, this guy wants a library. Well, you've got a library on all of my ships, so he's all good. All right, so he's decided the MD Chunky A. That's how much he makes. And here's our event avoidance. Now, the more experience they have, the more stars they have, the higher these numbers will go. And then I think it becomes a cumulative thing of your crew members. So you want people to have lots of stuff here, but not so much stuff here, at least early game, because you won't be able to meet some of the research stuff. Research and development is expensive, okay? So trying to get your weather radar this, or anti-collision that, or durable parts this, is going to cost a lot of money. So early game, stay away from people who want all that stuff. At least they want that in tier 2 or 3, maybe even 4. Okay, so we can look at the crew here of the Chunky A. Okay, that's them, and they're from all over the world. So our chief mate is from Djibouti. It's one of my favorite places, just because it's funny to say Djibouti. Our chief engineer is a chick from Canada. Electrotechnical officer is Swedish, and we got basically a NATO crew here, except for Djibouti. Abdullahi Ibrahim. I can say the Ibrahim easy enough. Mia LeBlanc and Rolf Homburg. Rolf, he's like the dog on the Muppet Show. And then Kayla Wright. So yeah. So there's our crew. So this is, we'll just go across this thing here. This is our contracts page. Okay, this is our contract we're currently on. You can change your speed here. It's going to tell you the deadweight tonnage, I think is what DWT means. How much fuel we're using, how much fuel is left, and the distance. Over here it's going to show basically your engine output and your speed. You can adjust your speed by just clicking here and dragging. And then you'll see the fuel, you'll see the trip duration go down as we go faster, and you'll see the fuel consumption go up. Okay? But that also, again, you run that up and you'll start running down your eco rating. And ports have eco ratings. So there's B's, C's, and D's. And if you have a C rating on your company, the B ports won't take you. They don't want your business. Okay, they're like, clean up your act and take you. All right, so you got to be mindful of that. You can't rush this. All right. So now we're loading in Trieste, and we'll show you here in a minute because I'll have another ship coming to port. How to acquire contracts, how to add stuff to queue, what this means, and then this is telling us it's in progress. Over here is your quality of life and automations. This is quality of living on the ship. All right. And I don't know. These are not the base numbers. I moved them up like 1 notch each, and then you can do it per ship, or you can apply to all ships. Then up here we have to pause the game when the ship is idle, so that you can turn off. I advise keeping it on. And auto scrap, no. I wish it would let me say, oh, this thing's only got a year of life left on it. Or, you know, you are at 80% of your basic life of your ship. You know, have a notification. Like it does here, right? And then you know when to sell your ship. So you can turn auto refueling on and off, auto repair, hull and engines. I set this at A5. I keep an eye on it because it's just easy to pop up. Auto refuel is smart, but if you want, once you get established in the game, I don't care about the price of fuel at this point. I've got like $120 million. So what's gas? Plus, I've got somebody on my team who helps me get discounts. So the discount double check. Customizing your ship, you can do that in seaports where you can paint it and everything. Make it different colors, make it pretty. Now, what happens in a storm, you'll see storms pop up on the map. You can stop the ship, reduce safe speed, keep the same speed. Smart to reduce your safe to a safe speed. And if it's a base storm, like the lowest strength, if you're running at 10 knots, you'll drop 2 knots. You'll get a little bit of damage. And then you drop, if it's a bigger storm, you drop a couple more knots. It basically drops to a safe speed. You'll incur a little bit of damage to the ship, but not a ton. And again, you can apply this to all your ships. Over here is the facilities. That's for your people. And then over here, God, I can't do that. All right, let's just look here. This is your research and development. This is important, okay? R&D is where you go. You down with R&D? Yeah, you know me. You have eco, you have event, and you have general. All right, right now we're researching installation of composite stuffing box rings. Okay. Now you can see all the stuff we've done. So we've done a bunch of this, but you'll see here the things that aren't done. $9.5 million, and it's going to take 2/3 of a year to research that. All right, so this is so I've got this whole tree here. No, I don't have this researched yet. I've still got to research LED lamps and waste oil incinerator. So again, these are some of the things that potential crew candidates will want you to have. And again, early game, you're not going to have them. Now, some of the early stuff, the simple stuff, weather routing optimization or collision avoidance radar, exhaust gas scrubbers is pretty, these things are pretty common. Okay, this stuff up at the top, air climate system, exhaust gas scrubber, okay? This kind of stuff is not terribly expensive, and that's what you're going to want to do early, because you get it done in about 90 to 180 days, and then you can start recruiting more people because your ships will have those requirements that those people look for. All right, so that's your tech stuff. All right, so we basically looked through, and that's indicated on this tab right here. You can only install that stuff at shipyards. All right, so down here at the bottom, you'll see where the canals are. Here's the Panama Canal, here's the Suez Canal. All right, and those cost money. The bigger your ship, the more money it is. Like Chunky A is like $388,000 going through a canal. Ugh, crazy. Closed ports, there's events that happen around the world. You can see stuff that there's like red markers. There's something happening at that event, or an event happening at that port. But if it goes red, the port's closed. Then you have LNG, which is liquefied natural gas ports and shipyards. So shipyards are where you have to be to do upgrades to your ships. Oh, I can turn this on up here. This turns on little indicators on where fuel is kind of average, which is kind of gray, or it's cheap, which is green, or it's expensive, which is red. You can kind of move the map around here a little bit too. And you can zoom in. So if we want to zoom in up on the European ports, whoops, no, there. We can zoom in, okay? So a lot of the ports right now have, $360 a ton is very cheap gas. 348 is even cheaper. And I think it's cheaper because I got a guy. Yeah, 326. 360 is the base lowest number, and 540 a ton is, I think, the highest. So you want to avoid when there's red, and you want to get into them when they're green. Even if you have to do a little repositioning movement, depends on your ship and its fuel capacity. So you can turn stuff on and off up here with this. Here's us, here's our money, here's our eco rating, here's our bank rating. All right, reputation rating. Higher position grants you better contracts and access to more ports. All right, and your eco rating, higher position grants you access to more ports. Then here's the time, and you can control it, and it's keyboard 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a master idiot alert for something. Then this will be cool. I'll show you this in a second. Toggle on and off the little fuel indicators, weather conditions, and world events notification, which comes up here on the screen. Bug reporting is built in. And then right here is challenges, which we've done quite a few of. All 4 types. Buy an LNG ship. I don't have an LNG ship. Maybe LNGs are separate. I know they are a separate. Oh, you know what? They are a separate design. I'll show you that here in a second, I think. Anyway, so the other indications on the screen. Oh, and then there's your controls, which pumps you back to here. Save stuff and all that. Resume. LNG shipyard and port, like here in Cochin Port in India. Now, you can see on the screen here the country, the name, and the environmental rating over to the right. Then below that, you see there's the 3 ship types. There's bulk carrier, which says NA. That means that it has no contracts with bulk carriers. You can't even go there. And then you got container ships, and then you've got oil tankers. You got tanker ships. And then the price of fuel, global events, special offers. Let's see if there's an indication here. Norway. I'm trying to see what. Now there's a global event there, and I'm not sure what. Port of Oslo only wants container ships. It's got upgrades available to it. You can buy stock. You can buy shares in the ports. You can invest in them. And when you invest and get a certain amount, you get bonuses. Let's see, I don't have any deals in here. So rarely those come available. Then we got contracts at various places around the world. And there's different charter companies, which I haven't started playing around with charters yet. But you can charter your ships out to just make, you know, they basically, I think, kind of auto control them and just make you money. And then here's the rewards. All right, so let's go to a port that I do have some ownership in, which actually Hercules is in right now. Port of Savannah. Progress. We have completed 2 of 100 contracts to get a fuel discount of 5%. Bulk carrier, 4%. We've done 4 of 100, and we've got a 25% loading speed increase. And containers, we haven't done any container ship contracts. And then there's storage. So back over here, this will tell you all the port products, which is interesting. Okay, I'm pretty sure they did some research to figure this out. This is a Greek group, by the way, people who did this game. These will tell you the top ports in the world. This one's number 23, Savannah is. There's contracts for bulk carriers, containers, and gas carriers. And then tells you something a little bit about it. Then this will tell us what's going on. Here's the upgrade status. Okay. Total spending for upgrades, 9.9 million. Available funds, almost 4 million. Next upgrade cost is 6 million. So as soon as it gets, I'm not sure how that maths, because here it says 4.5. Now, if their next upgrade is going to be this and this, then okay, I get it. But, you know, whatever. So I asked a question on this on the Steam boards earlier, and they said no, the ports upgrade by themselves. All right. So now if we go here to investments, you can invest. I am tied for the most shareholder at 3%. If there are shares available, I will be buying them. Okay. So there we go. Boom. Now I'm 7% shareholder. Ha! Take that. You get profits back from the ports. And then once you get to certain levels, you get other bonuses. Unfortunately, you can't just invest in the ports. Although I put that up to them, it's like, guys, why can't I? You know, why can't I buy the port or become the majority owner and then say, hey, you know what? We're going to start taking cargo ships that we don't normally take, or we're going to upgrade this or upgrade that. You control it from an investor standpoint. Because you're going to see here in a minute, pardon me, that this gets to be a big money deal. All right. Port of Savannah's got a 180,000 ton limestone shipment going to the port of Nagoya, Japan. Nippon no suki desu ne. All right, so here's where we are. All right, so that's how that works. Let's see, the countries will light up different colors, like something's going on here. There's a money thing going on in feed, and although I'm trying to figure out what it is, but I guess I can't figure it out. But here's our ships. Here's Triple Crown. She's in SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma. I think I have shares in SeaTac. I do. I have 8% of SeaTac. I have shares in 4 ports. Now, where would we look otherwise? I'll show you down here in a second. The Starlifter is heading into Riga. Chunky A is heading to San Lorenzo. You can see the line here is blue. It's going here to San Lorenzo, which this is interesting. Of course, Argentina. Wait, was that off of Brazil or Argentina? It was Argentina. The Battle of the River Plate. I think that's what this is, and that's where the famous death of the pocket battleship Prinzoingen. Was that the one that they scuttled off of the coast there? I'd have to look that up. World War II. All right, Triple Crowns repairing. Starlifter's heading in. Hercules is up here loading. All right, so that's the upper part of the screen. That's the stuff on the screen. Now you'll see. Maybe because I just loaded the game up. Let me hit this and roll it forward here for a second. There's a storm. Okay. Now, see how we auto pause there? Okay. That's because Triple Crown is now idle. And that's what you can turn on and off, is that automatic pause deal. So, before we give them something to do, because they just got their repairs complete, let's come down here. Ships. All right, we got all that. And then here's our country. We're based out of Belgium. We're based out of Antwerp, which is right there. And I own some of Antwerp too. Don't I? I thought I did. Okay, maybe not. All right, anyway. I own some of the Swedish port. Gothenburg. Yeah, I own some of Gothenburg. Yeah, I own 6% of it. So, I own part of Savannah, SeaTac, Gothenburg, and one other. Is this like a top 10 port, I think? Anyway, so down here at the bottom, across the screen, you got some other menu stuff. This is your operations screen, which, again, goes to individual ships. And then, of course, you can choose a different ship here. Boom. All right, we covered that earlier. Okay, cool. This is your HR department. So here's where you hire and fire people, okay? You can see I've got some crews here, and now I've got people with 4 and 5 stars, all right? So if you have a dill hole type, like dude from Djibouti here, okay? He doesn't have really much as far as his details, which are really demands, okay? This is what he's demanding of the ship, okay? Eco rating D, that's easy. Greater than 80%, that's easy. That's it, boom. And this is what he brings to the table. This is what he costs. Okay, cool. Basically, each year they're on the ship, then they go up a star. They'll get like so much of a level. Then again, that may be per day on ship. I don't know. All right, so you saw him. Now let's look at this guy from Japan. All right, so Saichi Koda. Okay. He's level 3 of 5. He's got 795 points towards 1,095 needed to go to level 4. All right, he's my chief engineer on the Starlifter. He brings, and see, the more stars they have, the higher these event avoidance things go up. All right, so 39% avoidance of general events, 40% of engine events, and 37% of cargo events. Okay, he's expensive though, so the more stars you have, the more expensive they are. Right, it's like a restaurant. Pretty straightforward. Now, so here's like your easy stuff. Eco rating A. Now, that's the key. To keep him happy, we've got to keep the ship's eco rating as an A, which is a little bit of a trick. That you just got to keep the speed down. All right, just be reasonable. Keep it. If you get a contract that's going to take you 40 days to get there, and it gives you a 60-day window, drop your speed a knot or two. Okay, you want to have about 6 days buffer to arrive in port, especially with the tankers. It can take 2 to 3 days to load and unload them. But also, if you get caught in a storm, it's going to slow you down. If you have something break at sea, it can cost you several days to get parts. Okay, so you don't want to push your deadlines up against the limit. You want to have 6 to 7 days leeway. And but if you have like 10 to 15 days, slow the ship down. That helps your overall eco rating, and it balances out. All right, so then there's the ship condition. This is, you could set that in the automatic stuff. You saw that earlier. We keep our stuff at 85% or higher. If I go into a port, pull the ship up, so see it needs repairs. If it's, you know, below 95, I'll usually do engine and hull repairs manually. He wants facilities. Now this is important. Okay, facilities are listed above upgrades. Okay, don't take people who have upgrades listed above facilities. Facilities are easy and cheap. Upgrades are expensive. Okay, does that make sense? So this is the smart play. This buys you time. And if I don't have all that stuff done in time, you know what? Screw the guy. I can fire him and whatever. Okay? But these are all level 4 things. And he's heading up to level 4. The thing is, I think I don't have... Okay, this is what we're researching right now. Installation of composite stuffing box rings. We do not have LED lamps. We do not have waste oil incinerator. So those are going to be next. All this other stuff, I believe I have on the ship. What's he on board? He's on board Starlifter. Yeah, he's on board Starlifter. And see, for some reason, I can't see that. So let's go to R&D. So the ICCP thing. I think I just researched that most recently. Yes. So it's inspection and adjustments of the impressed current cathodic protection system to guarantee sufficient protection levels at all times. ICCP systems are a more cost-effective corrosion prevention method for the hull of the ship, as opposed to hull coatings and paints. But it gives you a -7% of ship events. General does ship events. This helps your consumption eco rating. This helps your eco rating and consumption. Okay. So we got that, and we're doing this. All right. Then the only thing we'll have left on this. Whoa. Yeah, this is currently in progress. It says it right there. Okay. So what we'll need to do then to make this guy happy is over here. LED lamps, and then we'll get to waste oil incinerator. Right? But if you don't have these things, don't be recruiting people that want those things, unless they're like 2-3 levels down the road. All right. So if you want to hire a new captain, you hit the button here. Here's your candidates over here. All right. This dude looks like a doofus. Hamner Constantinescu. I think I got that pretty good. He's Romanian. All right, 36 years old, 4 years experience. He's only 10,000 a month plus 5% a year. All right. So he can only go to a 3-star. Okay. Ship eco rating D means basically he'll take any ship. Ship condition greater than 90%. Now, once he hits 2 stars, that's what you got to keep on track. But you can automatically do that and not have to fuss about it. Then for level 3, library. Okay, cool. Simple, right? Like here, this guy's 1-star knucklehead. The 1-star people want either ship condition or eco rating. That's step 1. Step 2 is the other, is either ship condition or eco rating. Those are your first 2 levels. In most cases. There are some cases where someone will pop up and be like, hey, you got to do this. See, she's an Eco D and then greater than 90%. This person had to think that through. Anan Chukwumiriji. Anyone want to check me on that pronunciation? I think it was pretty good. Anyway, so early game, those are your people you're going to want to select as your captains is 1, 2, 3-star. That you can meet their requirements. Then later down the road, you can get you this British dude here who's expensive as hell. Okay. But the key is you can get to 5 stars, which means these numbers will go really high. They'll go up like 20% per star. Okay. Eco rating B, greater than 80%. Now, here's the trick. You don't want this guy early game, even mid game. Okay. Because look at all the crap he wants. He wants all this stuff. Now, I told you, Air lubrication systems, that's early stuff. Weather routing, that's kind of middle stuff. Hull coating paints, early stuff, okay? But then LED lamps, further down the list. High-end management systems, down the list. These are all level 3 things. He's already a level 2, and he's on his way to level 3. I'm not going to be able to get this, and this all done in time to make him happy. So take him off your list. And then he's got the facilities, which are the cheap things at tier 4. You want the cheap things, the facilities above the upgrade stuff, all right? So let's look at the oh no, she's Ukrainian, she's not Swedish. She got the same thing, okay? She wants all these upgrades prior to the facilities. She's also got, I think, 3 things here where he may have only had 2. See, he's got general events and collision events. She gives you more shizzle here. There's like 4 things you can get there. There's collision, general, and then I think cargo. Yeah, cargo. So there you go. It's kind of an idea how that looks, okay? So let's look at this guy. It's Japanese. Okay, this guy, all right, here's the other side. He's a 1-star currently, but can go to 5, right? He's already got decent numbers. Ship Eco rating A. That's the only trick, all right? You just got to keep your speed down, be smart with your contract choices, and you'll keep your Eco rating at A. Plus, you want to research the technologies that give you the benefits of a higher Eco rating, okay? Stuff that makes the ship run more efficient and all that stuff, all right? Cool. Now, he's got 3 bonuses for event avoidance, which is good. That's what you want. More of those things down there is mo better, okay? And then ship condition. So remember what I said, level 1, level 2 is either going to be the Eco rating or ship condition. One or the other. All right, 1, 2. Cool? Easy. 3, he's got the facilities for 3s. That's better. That buys you time to get more of these. But this is going to cost you north of upwards, probably somewhere in the range of $100 million to research all this stuff. Okay? I don't have these 2 or that. But I've got time with this guy because he's got to get to level 2, then he's got to get through level 3. I already meet all this criteria, depending on which ship I put him on. Because one of my ships has a B rating, although I think it's a high B. It's close to. If I can slow it down for a couple of trips, it'll probably move back up to an A. All right? So that's what you're looking at. Early game, you may have to take this knucklehead, all right? And just deal with the fact he's a 1-star and all that. This guy, you wouldn't want. This chick, see again, Eco rating, ship condition. All right. This guy, Vietnamese, that does not look like a Vietnamese dude, people. I hate to tell you. This guy, see, he's got upgrades. 3-star people are good, again, if you get Eco and condition and then get facilities, because that you can work with. See, she wants stuff. All right. Plus, she's a little more expensive. Here's a good one. Okay, first off, she's got 3 event avoidance things. Good. She's a little more expensive, but rating D, greater than 90%, easy peasy, sauna. Boom, done. She's happy. Give the bitch a tan in bed. Boom, she's set. You know what I'm saying? Okay. This dude, he wants all this crap. That's going to cost you a crap ton of money. Nope. Piss off, dude. What about her? Same thing. Nope. Nope. Yep. Okay. So that's how you work with these people. Then you got your chief mate. Same deal. Okay. Look at how much they're going to cost you. Go through the list. See what you want to min-max. Okay. This guy. He wants a bunch of crap. Well, I actually have all this stuff. Okay. So we could get this guy on board, and that's going to up things. Plus, look here. He's a 1-star. These numbers are going to go up, and that's going to make it better for your ship during its cruises to not break down or encounter issues. All right. So again, you were going to have 1-star Aussie chick here, which she gives you good numbers here. Ship condition. Okay, whatever. But that's all it's going to be. Now this chick from Libya, She gives you good numbers. Again, 2 stars. Eco rating, condition are your first 2 stars. All right. This guy, same kind of deal. Oh, here it is, port events. See? There's something else there. I knew there was something. I couldn't remember what it was. All right. So let's look at this Swedish chef dude. Okay. Nope. You don't want this guy. First off, he's exorbitantly expensive. I mean, this dude's making $850. He's making somewhere between $850 and $900,000 a year. Now you're going to see here in a minute that that's beans at this point in the game for me. But he also has, 5 stars. He's got good numbers here. Yeah, I'd rather him have these numbers and be a 1 star, because then that means these will go up higher. But he's got all the requirements for ship upgrades ahead of facilities. So, nope. Nope. Ah, here we go. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. She's Korean. 안녕하세요. So she wants a nice little chunk of change. You can get cheaper. But again, she's got all the event avoidance, ship rating, condition, facilities. And then, aside from this, these 2. Early, mid, high, and upgrades. Okay? So you may use her for 3 years, then send her packing. All right? The key is for her to give you good event stuff and good smooth cruises. Then you bring in a chief engineer, you bring in an electrotechnical officer, a chief steward, and you can bring in an operations manager. Okay? Your ops managers will do your work for you. All right? So, it'll show you how much they cost, what types of ships they support. Some do more than 1, I think. LNG carrier. All right, so I got to get an LNG carrier ship. Liquefied natural gas. That's the ones with the big domes, where it looks like this, because I think those are pressurized domes. All right, so there's how your HR stuff works for the most part. You see who's the crew on whatever ship. You can auto rehire them or let them go after their contract is up. Over here's your ops managers. Finally, there's this part. Now, these are your advisors. And your advisors will save you money. Like our fuel cost advisor, Hajar Ziani. Okay? She saves us 10% on fuel cost. That's what I was saying earlier. The cheap ports are $360. The expensive are $540. We don't pay that anymore because we got Hajar on board. She's our inside chick. Yeah. And now, as her stars go up, this should go up. Okay? Repair engine cost, this makes it cheaper thanks to Rosa. And repair hull cost, I just hired him on Tamim Al-Abad. He's from Kuwait. Don't know how legitimate that looks, but okay. So there's nobody for these positions yet, but that's okay. All right. Here's your financial stuff, which I haven't dealt with a whole lot. It's showing kind of what your different ships do along the way, and then you can run metrics. Total profit, $874 million. I'm closing on the $1 billion club. We've picked up some penalties along the way, and I'll show you how we're going to avoid that. Expenses, yeah, got quite a bit. Crew salaries, we pay. Total value of ships, distance covered, 2.6, almost 2.7 million miles. And how many employees we have? That seems weird. That seems low. It is low. We got 5 people per ship. Oh. I don't know. That's weird because I've got 3 advisors and then you've got 5 crew per ship plus there's additional crew on board. If we hit the chunky A here and we go to the crew, actually we'll go here. See here? You got your crew positions, other crew plus 12. So there's 12 additional crew aboard the chunky A, which is our big tanker. All right. So also here you've got your ship information, and this will show you details of your contracts completed, maintenance expenses, all that stuff. Okay. And it changes per ship. Okay. The chunky A is making, look at this, bank, 19 million, 21 million, 8 million. That was a light trip. 15 million, 13 million, 22 million, 13 million, 15 million. Okay? See what I'm saying? Once you start getting into these bigger ships, you start making money, make money. All right? Well, here's contract stuff. All right? Goes through all your trip reports. And over here is... oh, here we go. Nagoya. Share 1% cost is $25 million. Well, I have $100 million in the bank, which means I'm willing to spend... Oh, no, I'm not spending $101 million, though. I'll spend 50 for Nagoya. We're in Nagoya quite a bit. And it's the number 7 seaport in the world. Newcastle's Australia. Piraeus is Italy. Greece, excuse me. All right. So, boink. Back over here. All right, so we bought some shares in... We're not... Oh. Tubero. Oh, I've got shares in Piraeus already. Okay. Let's look at Newcastle, because we're in there a lot. 23 million for 8% shares. Now that I can do. All right. So we're down to $27 million. I just spent $73 million buying shares of the ports. But when you get to 10%, you start reaping the bonuses. Okay? So that's how that works. And you can sell the shares if you need to. You can view the stuff, whatever. Okay, it's all good. All right, over here's your global economy stuff. And, oh, cool information. All right? Again, the guys who put this game together are kind of trying to help educate people about how this works. Okay? And it tells you this stuff. What's going up, what's going down. Information over here. Boom. Boom. Cool? Cool. All right, now what's this here? Here's the loans. Transfer costs. I guess if you transferred a loan or something, I don't know. Transfer your base, maybe? All right, so that's global economy. Here's your purchase ships. All right, here's where early game, you just want to buy used ships, okay? Now, if you go to sell a ship, all right, it goes through this screen here. Then you have to pick what ship you're going to sell. And then, say we were going to sell the Chunky A. All right, if you hit sell, you can't sell it because it's idle. Okay, cool. Let's say the Triple Crown 2. If we sell it, crew on board. You need to release the crew from their contracts first. You don't have to release them from their contracts. If you remove crew, you will release them from their contracts. Poof, boom, gone. Okay? Don't do that. What you do is go back over here to the ships. Okay? They're at sea right now. Who's Triple Crown's not at sea, right? You unassign them. Then that puts them on the bench. And until the year is up, they'll sit on the bench, just keep sopping up your money, which is fine. If you have another ship coming up, unassign everyone in here, in the HR department. Then sell the ship, okay? So again, Triple Crown's in a position where we can sell it. We have to unassign the crew, okay, whatever. It's going to ask, it's going to say what the approximate value is and then what you want to sell it for. So you can set the price on the ship. Auction, I haven't played around with yet, okay? All right, so you can buy a new ship or used ship. In this case, we've got some gas carriers, some tankers. QMAX LNG carrier. It's in the port of Itaki. And we got, okay, so we got a crude carrier and then an LNG carrier. LNG carriers have these domes on them. They're spheres. Okay, so they're carrying liquefied natural gas. All right. Storage capacity is 175,000 tons. Carries 5,300 tons of fuel. It's a RECO rating of A at 100%. Okay. We can't buy the ship. It's $232 million. We got 27. Okay. You can buy it with a bank loan. All right. But that's the one class of ship we don't currently have in the fleet is an LNG carrier. So you have two types of tankers and you have different sizes of ships. Okay. Like there, if we want a container ship, let's see what we got here. There's your post-Panamax container ship in Helsinki. Carries 95,000 tons. We have two of those in the fleet right now. If you want to buy a new ship, you pick what it is. Okay? And then when you pick what it is, all right, So here's your Panamax container, which carries 47,000 tons. Your post-Panamax carrier container carries 95,000 tons. Your Suezmax container carries 130,000 tons. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the container ships. Okay, and then you choose the port where the shipyard where you want this built. And once you paint all the different colors and stuff, like, see how it's kind of done. I like the lower hull to be the red color, and then the upper hull maybe to be black or gray. And if you want to make it pink or turquoise, whatever, make it whatever color you want it to be. Okay, it's up to you. I like mine to look a little more realistic. Your deck color, then you can see there's the deck parts. Details 1. That's these parts. Details 2 are those parts, your anchors and your racks. And then you can look in the middle view of the ship, and you can look at the back view of the ship. So you can see all the little details, what they are. Okay. All right. Details 3 is your tie downs, winches, and other little accessory parts. Okay, so that's what you can change there. Got it? Cool. And then you can go ahead and add your upgrades. Okay, so like you click on this, and there's all your installation costs for everything you've researched, and you can pick and choose, or you can just hit assign all, and it will do all of them. All right, but make sure you get some cash set aside for that. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to back out of this. We're going to look at your tankers. So here is a Panamax tanker. Carries 50,000 tons. Suezmax crude carrier, 120,000 tons. Very large crude carrier, 305,000 tons. Ultra large crude carrier, 450. This is going to be big effing contracts right here, people. I'm telling you, big money. Your conventional LNG carrier, 87,000 tons. Q-Flex LNG carrier is 155. Q-Max, 175. Okay, so there you go. So there's like 7 different types of tankers, and then your bulk carriers. There's 50,000 ton. This is your Supermax. This is your starting ship. Start with one of these, and kind of learn how to work it. Seaway Max bulk carriers, only 24,000 tons. That's even cheaper though. Yeah, you might as well get the 50,000 ton. Seaway Max is small. Panamax, 60,000 ton. Camsar Max. What the hell is that? Ooh. 75,000 tons. Cape size bulk carrier. That's a big dog right there. 150,000 tons. And the Malacca Max. I think we have a Malacca Max. Yes. Ours is a Malacca Max now. Malacca. 250,000 tons. And there's a China Max. Whoa. 380,000 tons. Now, there's a delivery time of 95 days. All right. This one's going to be limited on where it can go. It's not going to be able to use, I don't think it's going to be able to use the canals. So that means it's going to have to go around the Cape of Good Hope of South America and then around South Africa. So Supermax is a good start. And then the Panamax, Cape size, been pretty good. Makes good money. All right. All right. So there's your ships. Global events. Here we go. Sweden. Government investment in Sweden, increase in contract prices. Okay. So there you go. Port of Oslo. Stevedore injury is a reason for delays. Port of Mombasa, Kenya. Cranes mechanical failure, blah, blah, blah. You have port events, epidemics, wars, economic growth. Okay, so it kind of covers everything. Then that takes us here to the bank, where you go get your bank loans, your active loans. Cool. Charters. Now this part of the game I haven't dinked around with much. So you can get affiliated, your affiliation, like with Route Limited, they like me, 100% affiliate. So we can get all kinds of good stuff here. Huh. And they support all 3 types of ships. Okay, I haven't played around with that yet. All right, so that's something to play around with. And here's your R&D. We covered this earlier. All right, I think, and then down here just indicates where stuff's going on news-wise. So just jump back over here, right? And it'll tell you where there's wars going on or strikes or whatever. Okay, cool. That's the game. That's how it works. All right, so now let's play a little bit, shall we? Took us an hour to go through that. So Triple Crown is over here in SeaTac, waiting for commands. We've unloaded cargo. We're full on fuel. Everything's all churched up. This is a seaport. If we hit assign all, if anything comes up, it'll come up here, and then you hit apply. All right, but we don't need to do anything. All right, so then we're going to go here and acquire contracts. All right. We have 95,000 tons we can carry. Okay. So look for the big money first, your flat fee amounts. Now there's total fees. There's different stuff. I haven't dinked around with that yet. So 4.682 million looks good so far. That's going to Tanzania. 67,000 tons of ale. Now, here's the trick, okay? This is where your geography class from high school is going to come into play, all right? Tanzania is right next to Kenya. Now, here's the problem. Here's where math class comes into play. 67,000 plus 67 plus 35 is more than 95, okay? Not much, but a little bit, just enough. So we can't pair these up. Otherwise, if you had the capacity, you would pair this up. It would be smart because these ports are a day apart, right? And that's basically your almost $8 million in contracts right there. All right. Likewise, if you're going into the Mediterranean, here Port of Azov is up off the Black Sea, so you got to go through Istanbul to get up into the Black Sea. Whereas Portugal is out on the Atlantic coast, Bari is on the east side of the boot of Italy. So it's a little bit of a trick to get to. Now, here we go. I can math in this maths. 67,000 tons. Okay. Going to Tanzania. Here's another contract going to Tanzania for lobsters. They're getting drinking and eating. Okay. So now let's math this. 67 plus 18.2. Actually, we cannot do that. That would put us at 95,200 tons. 200 tons overweight. But if it was 95 or less, there we're picking up, let's see, 5, 6, 6.4, 7, 6.4 million tons or so. I mean, dollars. So, look, here's Portugal. All right. So Portugal has a $1.3 million contract, and then they have a $1.9 million contract. 20,000 tons a pop, we got room to play with. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's take another look at something here, because Italy is kind of down the street from Portugal, right? It's going to be a little bit of sailing. And we're coming out of SeaTac, so that's going to be a little bit of a trip. So if we went to Portugal first, because that's the first, it's going to take us 38 days minimum to get there, unless we increase our speed. If you go up here and you increase your speed, these numbers change. Okay? But your eco rating goes down too. Then you get points for delivering your stuff on time. All right? You also have places along the African coast that has to deal with pirates, and you have to get security for that. This indicator means we're going to lock through a canal. All right? And it tells you how much fuel it's going to take. So, if we go to Portugal, I want to try to pronounce that. 17,400 tons plus 19,000 tons means 36,400 tons. Okay? Which means we still have the better part of 60,000 tons to haul. It would take 38 days to get there, and that would be $3.3 million. So then if it's only taken 38 days, another 15 days to get to Italy might be doable. Now here's another thing. Port of Azov, $4.6 million contract, 68,000 tons, right? I saw Georgia down here, 17.9. Household appliances, 1.6 million. Guess what? Georgia is right next door to Azov. Okay. So there's 4.63 million. It's 68. So 5.63, 6.2, $6.3 million for those two contracts. So you can combine contracts either to a common port, or you can, you know, go all to one port, right? Here's Greece. Greece is conveniently on the way. Excuse me. Okay. I don't think we have the load capacity to do that. All right. So now, it's for simplification's sake, easy for me to say. You know what? Here's a $5.3 million contract going to the port of Jebel Ali. Okay. It's 59,700 tons. So let's say we got 60,000 tons. That means we have 35,000 tons to play with, right? That's in the Gulf there. What else is up that way? Is anything else up that way, like Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah? That's on the way. Okay. So 51 days to get to Jeddah. Okay. 63 days to get here, 74 days. You see what are you picking up what I'm laying down here? We just got to sail from here around to here in like 20 something days. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We almost could fit in Greece on the way too, because Greece is on the way. 17.9 plus 60. Okay. So that's 77,000 tons. We could pick up Greece. It's really close to on the way. Plus, now, if this were the chunky A, if this were a tanker, do not get crazy with this trying to make tons of money. You're going to make tons of money. Just get the biggest contract, and if there's two contracts going to the same port, take it and go. Because it takes several days to load and unload the tankers. Okay? And that starts burning your time. In this case, it's containers, right? Because this is, yes, a container ship. All right. So what we may be able to do here is go to Greece, go to Jeddah, and then go to, I said we're going to go to, oh, did I mess up my math? No, I didn't. I just didn't look in the right spot. I did mess up the math. What in the ass? I got 35,400 tons left, and I think that contract was just over that. Okay, so we just pissed ourselves off. All right, cool. You know what I'm going to do? Take the cheap contract. I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to pay the fee, whatever, because I'm going to make it up on the other side. So now we're going to acquire contracts. Now we got, where is it? UAE 5.1. Yeah, we're going to pick this up. Okay. Now it's saying we could pick up Portugal. We're not going to. All right. We're going to go to Saudi, make 1.742 million, and then go to UAE and make 5.1. So this is a all up, and we got to take out the money. So really, we're going to make $5 million off this deal. We're going to lose some money, $137,000, I think, maybe more, for locking through the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal. Okay, you got to deal with that. So now we've picked our deal here. Okay, let's check our maths. 52 days, 61, 64, 74. 10-day window, beautiful. Because we're going to be crossing the Atlantic, you can get storms, and you can get storms in the Mediterranean. This little cut around Saudi Arabia here, the Arabian Peninsula, easy. And then this run down the west coast of North America, Central America, not an issue. Okay? All right? So now, in theory, we could slow this down a little bit. So let's say we slow down the Atlantic crossing. What? To not 8. Let's go 9. Okay? But see, now we're getting tight. So if we hit a storm or we have a breakdown, now we're going to be in trouble. Okay? So we'll go back up. We'll keep that buffer in there. All right? So now we're going to hit start contract. Now, if we have to make a fuel stop, which we don't, you would go pick a port along the way and indicate that as your fuel stop. See, like this. And this is where you look at the map. Now, I'm going to tell you, your friendly port is right here. It's Morocco. Tangier Med. Typically, it has good fuel prices. In this case, it's $3.28. Again, because we have a fuel broker. But it's also, in this case, centrally located along the route. So you can be going from Australia, transiting from Australia to Europe. And if it looks like your boat's going to run out of fuel, Tangier Med's a good stop. Or King Fahad or Jeddah are good stops. Port Said can be too. So you want to stop along those ports here in Africa. Djibouti, you can do that too. Now, if you're transiting to Asia, you'll go right by Sri Lanka and Singapore. So you could set those up as fuel stops if they will handle your type of ship. Excuse me. So now, we're good. Okay, we're happy with it. We committed to the contract. And as soon as we hit play, it's going to start loading the ship. Okay? Everyone else is going to do their thing. And we're going to roll tide. Okay? All right, so we're going to go fast speed. So loading. And Starlifter has left Puerto Rico. Hercules arrived. Triple Crown True has arrived. All right, so here's the Starlifter. Just made us $3.4 million. All right? Now, this thing has a timer. You can't pause it. You got to read it quick. I don't like that. That should stay on the screen until you dismiss it, or you should be able to adjust the time. So, now, Starlifter is idle at the port of Riga. All right, so we're going to click on it. First thing we're going to do is go look here. We got 83% fuel. Engine and hull are good. We're going to go ahead and buy fuel for giggles. Excuse me. All right. Then we're going to see if we are... see, we got stuff we can install. Assign all. See, there's multiple things being installed. You have to renew things like once a year sometimes. Hit apply. Yes, we want to install the upgrades. Okay. Now, the ship is going to be in port for a few days for that. Okay. So see here at shipyard in Puerto Rico. Boom. Now, if nothing else checks in before then, it'll pause as soon as it gets complete. She becomes idle. So you can see how quick on a day goes by at, speed 4 or 3, as it were. So it's taking like a week. Hercules just locked through the Panama Canal, $392,000. Now we just paused. Starlifter's complete. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Acquire contracts. Now, let's say you weren't happy with the contract options here and you want to go somewhere else. Like, screw you guys, I'm going home. All right. So what you do is you add to queue. Okay. And let's say we want to go to Port of Tallinn. Now, we can look and see what kind of contracts are out there if let's think about this. Finances. Okay, here's your, here we go. So we want to look at Tallinn. Tallinn is right here, number 25. View. Okay? And then up here we can hit contracts. Container contracts got a trip to Shanghai. That's a lot of weight. So we may want to take that job out of Tallinn instead of Riga. And Tallinn's like right next door. There's Tallinn in Estonia. Riga. Yeah, that's Poland, then Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, Helsinki. So we could just jet up to Tallinn and then maybe pick up a better contract. Okay? All right, so to do that, we're going to go add to queue. It's going to list the ports by proximity, closest port. Okay? And again, you got to look here at what type of ships it takes. Container ships pretty much are common almost every port. It's bulk carriers and tankers that don't come into every port. Container ships are freaking everywhere, though. I didn't see a single one of those ports indicated that wouldn't take container ships. So, all right. So let's go to Tallinn. We're going to click on that. So this comes up. All right. Here's the information on the trip. Not going to take long. Okay. And then we're going to stop at port. You don't have to do that unless you have other ships, stuff behind it. So it's like if you're going to do a fuel stop, excuse me, you want to, and you want to pick up extra contracts. Say you have 100,000 tons and you've only got 50,000 loaded. Well, we got to make a fuel stop here. Let's just see what they've got. You stop at the port, and then you can pick up, you can acquire contracts at the port, and then bada bing, bada boom. Maybe they're going to the same place. Maybe they're going just down the street. You see what I'm saying? All right. So, wait, nope. We need to do waiting commands means you need to hit start contract. All right. So now we're going to hit go, and she's going to move over here, and then we're going to pause again. Starlifters arrived. We lost $43,000 to reposition the ship. Well, okay, whatever. So now we're going to go in. We can look at fuel. We have 99% fuel. We're not going to refuel. It doesn't allow it. Acquire contracts. Here we go. Yeah. Now we're cooking. See? Now these it didn't list all that. I don't know why it didn't. I don't care because now we can get paid. 95,000 tons, $6.4 million going to Hong Kong. Thank you. Yes, please. But I can math and this doesn't math. 71,000 tons to Shanghai, 4.5, 53, doesn't add up. If you can add this stuff, China, Hong Kong, 75,000 tons, 5.59. We're going to take the 6.4 million, acquire. Yes. Okay. 55 days, 69. We could slow the ship down. If we slow the ship down to 9. Nope, that's 8. That's way too slow. Here's what we'll do. We'll come here and do this. All right. 55 to deliver. 69 on the contract. 61 to 69. That gives us 8 days to play with. Okay. This helps our eco rating just a little bit. If you can squeeze that out in little bits here and there, if you come up in a situation where you goof up a contract and you have to make the ship go faster, it helps balance that out. Okay. So if you get an opportunity, then you can balance it out. So okay, so start contract, boom. All right, so Starlifter's going to start loading and then get ready to go. All right, and so now we're all set. Everybody else is busy. Boom, go. Chunky A is en route. Hercules is en route. Here's some stuff. All right, Starlifter has left. This tells you stuff about ports, and then the blue thing is, hey, your ship left. Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate the update. Chunky A is about to make port, and then you're going to see us get paid. If you can stack contracts to a single port, that's great. If you can stack contracts consecutive, you know, like here, 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 that's okay. Triple Crown almost went through the storm. So notice she's at 10 knots. She's going to be close to this storm. Watch if this drops. It's going to be close. Oh, she's going to hit this one maybe. Deck. Okay, here's a stupid thing. These happen occasionally. Damage to deck equipment, it's no big deal. It's just one of those things that comes up. All right, that storm guy out of the way, this storm guy out of the way. Chunky A's in port and unloading. So now this big note's going to come up here. We just made $11.5 million. Cha-ching. But our company has now dropped to a B rating, which kind of sucks. We're getting kicked in the balls here, and I'm not sure why. Let me take a look at Chunky A is in port. We're going to go ahead and do an engine repair. We'll buy fuel because it's cheap. Okay. We're running target speed of 9 knots, and it's slipping. That's why I think our deal slipped. It's kind of stupid. How old is the Chunky A? 13 out of 25 years. I have to see if we can manage that better. B is not going to hurt you, but if you drop to a C, you'll start losing ports. Like there's no ports that I've seen that are A only. Okay. Starlifter's in a storm in the med. Speed has dropped to 8 knots. That could be an issue. Remember, we dropped speed on the trip. Let's go to the contract. It's easiest. We dropped speed to 9. Okay. We're trying to help that eco rating. We got to watch this. Okay. So, and it's just hitting the storm. We'll see how many days it's in the storm. Hercules is on the road. 26 days to deliver, 33 to expire. We're already down to 9 knots. What if we drop to 8? Try to work that a little bit. Okay. Go. Now, it's hard to find anything crossing the Pacific. There's a gap in the map here. They need to change that a little bit. Because you can zoom in, but you can only zoom out so much. All right. Now, we're back in the hold. Starlifter's in the storm. Chunky A is idle. So they've done their upgrades, refueled, repaired. They didn't do upgrades. Let's see if there are upgrades to do. There are not, it's not a seaport or shipyard anyway. All right, so let's find the contract. How about $11 million to Bremerhaven? That's not bad. 243,000 tons. Okay. Now, what's in that direct? Okay, here's Australia. Here's Australia. Here's Australia. Two to Darwin, but they're small. That's only like $4 million. Houston's a $10 million contract, and we don't have to lock through. All right. Bremerhaven. I can math, and this won't math. We can't do 127 and 234. We only have 305. So we could do an $11 million contract, or we could go to Port of Houston. If there were something along the way we could stop at, that would be super cool. There is not. That kind of sucks. Darwin is 2 small contracts. Headland. Darwin's on the... Oh, actually, those are on the way. So you could do the 2 Darwin contracts, which is 2.2 and 1.6. So that's going to be 3.8. Now, Newcastle is kind of on the way. That's 7. But now you're going to be pushing your time a bit. So it's going to take 49 days to get there. And it's going to be a race to get to... Darwin to Headland works because Darwin's on the way to Headland. Right? See that right there? See that right there? You see what I'm saying? Newcastle is not exactly. But that's the big contract. You could maybe do Newcastle, Darwin. You might make 10 million. But Headland's 4.5. Darwin, 2.2. So there's 6.7. Yeah. Plus the other Darwin. So it's 7.7, $8.3 million. Okay. So that's how you can stack contracts. But screw you guys, we're going to Bremerhaven. All right, we're taking the big contract. We're just going to roll tide. Now, let's do this. 58 days, 44 to deliver. Drop it down to 8 knots. It gives us a 10-day buffer. We are sailing the Atlantic. This route, most of your storms are out in the middle of the Atlantic or the North Atlantic or South Atlantic. It depends on the time of year, too. Right now, it's North Atlantic storms. In the winter, it becomes South Atlantic storms. Okay? We're going to slow it down, though, and we're going to make some money off this deal and try to reset our stupid rating here. Because Hercules is showing as a B. You're a B. Chunky A has departed. Now that Chunky A has departed, let's recheck our timing. 41:51. Okay, we're good to go. And again, if you come into the African ports, you may have to deal with getting security. There's a couple other, like Philippines and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to pause real quick here. We've checked the Chunky A. Let's check Triple Crown. Okay, 8 days to 13, 20 to 26. Good to go. Hercules, 15 days to deliver, 19 days to expire. We're good to go. 28 to deliver, 32 to expire. We're good to go. Again, we're at reduced speed. We could go back up to 10 knots, but we don't want to. Hercules hopefully is going to miss the storms. Sometimes you get storms in the Indian Ocean. Usually, see, you got the one in the Med that Triple Crown just went through. But she's going to Jeddah, 5, 9, 17, 22. We're good. She won't have to worry about storms anymore. Typically, your Indian Ocean storms are down in this area. Okay, Triple Crown just stopped at Jeddah, $760,000. Hercules just arrived. See how the storms are popping up here and here? Hercules should just have completed unloading and should come up here. Okay, there it is. $7.3 million. Cha-ching! You can close that with that. Okay, Hercules is now standing by. She's idle. So we're going to check here. She's B rating. That's not good. We're having to slow her down. We might have to look at replacing her because they may have something to do with the age of the ship, that you just start getting more inefficient. We're going to go ahead and repair the hull while we're in port, and we'll buy fuel. And then we kick this back going again. Boom. And it stopped just that quick. All right. So now, what can Hercules do for you? We have 250,000 tons. Where's our big contract? 7.1 million to Los Angeles. Benefit of this, we don't have to lock through a port. I mean, through a canal. And that's it. Now, here we go. All right. Here we go. Los Angeles is 56 days. Look here. We can't do this, son of a bitch. I had dreams of something, more money there for a minute. I was looking at Los Angeles. Port Prince Rupert is on the way. But we can't. So we're just going to take the Los Angeles contract. Yeah, because there's 2 going to Azov. But it's still less money. Excuse me. Now, eco rating is B. We're slowing it down to 9 knots. 43 days, 56 to expire. What if we drop it to 8? 9 days is pretty good. We're going to try to see if we can work our eco rating here a little bit. Because we can. That's the good part. We can make those adjustments. Oh, wow. Nikki Peterson. Such a nice comment. Wow. That was very kind. If you're watching, thank you so much. I will respond to it momentarily. All right, so now we do resume. Triple Crown's heading into UAE. And this is why you have to build in some time. And this is a problem. Okay. But it's not a problem because we have days to work with. Okay. Poor engine maintenance. Well, this chick, we may need to fire her ass for that. Okay. 7-day delay, $1.38 million cost. Or you can do a 4-day delay, percent of event happening increases, further increment of damage. Well, I don't know if we were just to do this and then swing in and do engine repairs, if that would help. I'm willing to pay this because it fits in the schedule. Okay, it's an $11 million contract. Basically, it's going to take it to a $10 million contract. It's a $10 million contract, right? Plus, we're going to Bremerhaven, so we're not locking through, so we're saving several $100,000 there. So we'll go ahead and wait for the replacement part, okay? Chunky A is delayed. Clock is ticking. Okay, Hercules is on the road. We just made $5 million for Triple Crown, and she's idle. We're in pause mode. So let's check out Triple Crown. $360 a ton is good. Repair, good. Repair, good. A couple days in port, won't hurt. You guys enjoy the trip. And she's ready to go, just like that. We're back. We're at A rating here. Okay, that's good. All right, where can we go? Where do we go, my lovely? Okay, there's a $5.8 million contract. Oh, that's Halifax. Now, you can look at this from a duration standpoint, too. You can say, hey, do I want to spend 41 days making 5.8 million or 37 making 5.2 and then get on my next contract? You see what I'm saying? If you got a contract that's going to pay you X, but Y is X times 3. We're doing algebra here, people. Okay? And you have to go to Port, Djibouti. If you can get there quicker and get on a more expensive contract, you're going to make more money. That's the point. Shorter trips, sometimes you have to, compromise a few $100,000 to get here, as opposed to, making more money going there. Right? You'll make more money in the long run. So now, let's just say we're not happy with this. The UAE is not hooking us up. Let's see if we have something better. Triple Crown's a container ship. Fujairah. Doesn't have any container contracts. That's why it didn't come up. Oops. These guys, now Kuwait has a bunch of container contracts. So let's do this. Let's reposition Triple Crown to, we're not going to go to Doha. We're going to go to Kuwait. See if we can make more money coming out of Kuwait. I mean, it's a couple of days sailing, 3 or 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Food poisoning. Gosh, darn it, lady. You got to frickin' cook the stuff to the temperature. And it doesn't really do anything. It just is. It just is a mark against that person. It's a reason to fire him. All right, so Chunky A is delayed because of an event. So she's still dealing with... but now her time schedule has gotten tight. We're going to hold the schedule, though, because we still have days to play with. We shouldn't hit storms. As long as she doesn't break down again, she'll get to... Bremerhaven is here. Okay? So now, Triple Crown's in port. Let's see what we got. Okay on fuel. Cool. Show me some money. 3 million. So 3.6 is looking good. 7 million dollars. And SeaTac is one of our ports we're invested in. Guess where we're going, boys and girls? We're going to SeaTac. I almost wish you'd go the other direction, but we're going to SeaTac. Heck yeah. Now, is there anything we can pair up with this? Aha, there is. But we can't, because that puts us overweight. This is 70... No, it's 89,000 tons. Nope, just take it. All right, cool. So now, again, we come back here. Look at the contract. 66 to 74. We got to sail across the Atlantic. I'm not farting with that speed, because that's a little too close for comfort. It's only 8 days to play with. She got to sail through the Med, storm threats, and across the Atlantic, storm threats. Okay. All right. So let's get back going here. All right. Chunky A is on the way again. Let's recheck. Let's check speed. 18 days to deliver, 19 days to expire. Yeah, that's why you do that. Okay, Starlifter just ported in $5.6 million. All right. So now we'll check all the stuff here. Go ahead and do an engine repair. Buy fuel, fairly cheap. Again, I just don't care about the cost of fuel. Hull, not doing repairs. Resume and paused. Just like that. Starlifter. $7 million contract. Sweet. 91.6. It's going to Peru. Okay, that's going straight across the Pacific, so no goofy stuff there. All right, let's see if there's anything that would entice us to do something else. 64,000. Wait, Tampa has a 1.6 and Miami has a 2.8. Nope, I can math that. Does not math. It's 7. Whatever we do has got to add up to more than 7. Oh, oi. Ah, the math doesn't work. See, here's 2 things going to Antwerp, which is a port we own, or we have ownership in. No, we don't. Do we? I don't think so. I'd like to. 64,000 tons, 52. The math looked good here, but the math is no good here. So is there another option? What if we took Latvia is down the road further, 1.9, 64 days. Antwerp's going to take 49. It could be done. It's really nothing. No, we're going to Peru. All right. Question is now, the eco rating on the ship is an A. $47 and $63. Which Starlifter? Starlifter's brand new. 1 year. Yeah. I think the age on the ship is where it starts taking a toll. Or there could be some... Oh, I don't think we can do this now because we're committed into the contract. Okay. Do you want to install? No. Sometimes I've done security a couple cases when it was like a 13 or 15 million dollar contract, but for that, no, not so much. All right, so now we're traveling, loading, traveling. Go. Let's check on Chunky A. We're still good. 12. See, we lost a day in there somewhere. I think it was shaken out in the wash. Oh, you know what? Let's pause here for a second. Dar El Salam, not too impressed. 6% shares are available though. Dar es Salaam. Where the hell is Dar es Salaam? Is that over here? Yeah, Tanzania. Not a big fan. Skip it. Chunky A has arrived at Bremerhaven, is unloading. Excuse me. We just lost $770,000 for something. Port and canal expenses, crew salaries. Yeah, we still made a butt ton of money. All right. So then we look at the Chunky A. Chunky A, I think, is working its way back up to an A from a B here. We'll buy fuel. Repair the hull. I'll take a day. Wait. Yeah, we got stuff. Aha! This may help. We may have had a couple of upgrades expire, and that may be why her deal is down. Okay. So now we kick through those days. It'll take a bit for those to take care of. Do. Watch the days go by. Oh, Starlifter just went into a storm. Hercules in a storm too. Down to 8 knots. Let's look here. Still got plenty of time, so we're okay. The Hercules dropped to 6 knots. She's in a bigger storm. She's got time though, so we're okay. Okay. Chunky A is idle. So now we're back up with our stuffs. Los Angeles, $7 million. Okay, that's good. $9 million to Ivory Coast. Guess what's kind of on the way? Oh, we can't do it. Can't math it. Wow. That would take 16 days just to go there. 1,280 miles. For $5.6 million. Holy shnikey. Or we could take $8 million just to go 18 days. I can math, and that's better than this. Did you see what I'm saying? All right. This is what I was talking about just a little while ago. Give up the big payday here, which is going to take 30 days, and take a little smaller payday here in 18 days to get back on the road to make more money afterwards. Does that make sense? We're going to go to Estonia for $8.5 million. Yeah. Okay. So that works out. And we can check. Is this chunky A? It is. We're going to check speed. We're going to take 19 days. We're going to check speed down to 8. Okay. That's how that stuff works. That's how baseball go. Hercules is coming into Los Angeles. Starlifter's at a stall in the middle of nowhere. Hercules is unloading. Oh, and gas is cheap right there too. Chunky A is on the road. $6.4 million. Hercules. All right, let's go check the ship out. Let's repair the engines. Take a day. Go ahead and get some fuel. $303 a ton. That's the cheapest I've gotten fuel to date. We really want to try to bring this back up to an A, but okay. So we're going to go ahead and go forward. And boom. Paused again. Okay. Let's. Oh, it's not a shipyard. We need to get into a shipyard. Could go to Savannah for. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's a charter contract we're being offered here. $75,000 a day for 360 days. Huh. Do we want to math this out? That is $27.6 million over the course of a year. Now, I don't know if that covers expenses or anything else. I don't know what that covers. So 27, and that means I wouldn't have to manage the ship for a year, which makes my workload easier from a player perspective, right? All right. So it's 550 points too. Look at that. That's a lot of points. There's a $9 million trip to UAE. That's a third of that deal in 64 days. It's 2 months. At the same time, we could go to Savannah. That's going to be 2 lockings. So this is actually going to drop several $100,000 because we have to go through both the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal. So we're going to lose a chunk of money there. Now we could, oh, that's the Vancouver deal. $8 million in 31 days. As opposed to $9 million in twice the time. See the point? $1.1 million difference, but this takes half the time, which means we could pick up another contract for a similar amount. And for this amount of time, we could make almost double the money. Right? We're gonna go to Savannah. That's my port anyway. I've got investment in that port. But we're gonna look at the time and do that. Try to work on this. Savannah is a LNG port. We need a shipyard. The only shipyard is SeaTac. SeaTac and Vancouver are the only 2 shipyards in North America. Hercules is left port. Chunky A is pulling into port. Triple Crown just went $388,000 through the Panama Canal. Ouch. Chunky A is offloading. Chunky A. $7.8 million. Okay. That works out pretty good. So let's take a look. Is there anything we can assign? No, we just did all the upgrades. Let's go ahead and buy fuel. Fairly cheap. Engines, we're good to go. 12 million, 11 million, 12 million, 11 million, 10 million, 9 million, 4 million. Okay. Here's a stack deal. We could stack 260 and 31 to 2 ports in Brazil. That's still only going to be, that's going to be 12.3. Might as well go to Bulgaria. We don't have to go through a canal or anything. We wouldn't have to go through a canal to get to Brazil. It's longer sailing though, right? Well, this says 33 days, 39 days. This is 37 days to Bulgaria. So distance is about the same. Cameroon is down the west coast of Africa. Japan. Nagoya. Did I buy interest in Nagoya? That's a 64-day trip. As opposed to Bulgaria, which is 37 days. We're going to Bulgaria. Reduce the speed a little bit. Bazinga. The only thing we'll have to deal with is possible breakdowns and storms in the Med. Okay, we take a quick glance at everything else. We're good. Starlifter's about to come into port. Beep. Hercules and Triple Crown just waved at each other. Starlifter just made 6.65 million. 6.69, excuse me. And is this a seaport? It is. A shipyard. Aha. Yes, we want to install that upgrade. Okay, and we're back to pause status. We'll go ahead and do the engines. Take a day. Boom. Okay. Let's get on a con. Now we're up to A here. Pardon me. What? What? Well, that sucks. Oh, that doesn't take containers. Chile. Well, damn it, Bobby. This sucks. We could sit tight and wait for see if a contract comes along, or we could reposition. We have to reposition. We have to basically go either West Coast or like the Savannah. We own stock in. Oh wait, oi. We have 7% in Savannah. So I feel like we want to go to Savannah or SeaTac. Trieste, Santos, and Colombo. We get into Trieste some. %7 is pretty good amount. Go ahead and buy it. All right, let's reposition Starlifter. I hate doing this, but we're going to go to Savannah. Take 14 days. Guys, just enjoy the cruise. We're going to lose a bunch of money. But whatevs. $6.3 million for Triple Crown. Just arrived at SeaTac. Cool. All right, so she's in the yard for a couple of days. There's $388,000 out the window. Hercules is going into Savannah. Has arrived. Offloading. Triple Crown is ready to roll. Roll Tide. Wow, $292. That's cheap. And from SeaTac, there's 3.2 to Saudi, 3.3 to Singapore, 4.7 to Sri Lanka, which is Saudi's on the way, if the math worked. We could go to Savannah. That's our port. You know what? I like it. Let's go to our port. That's a 28-day trip as opposed to 65 days. So, yeah. Now, Oakland's on the way. Oakland is on the way. And that would pay for our canal transit. All right, now, they're out of order. So what do? We go over here, and then we say, here, we want to go to Oakland first. So we just move Oakland up. You just use these up and down buttons. Okay? So see here, 7 days to deliver. $389,000. We know our cost of locking through Panama Canal is going to be $388. So that just took care of that. And then we can ride this one out. And I think we could actually drop the speed a touch. I think we're going to be good on this. And this gives us another trip into Savannah. Oh, whatever. Damage expected to fix immediately. Fix it, dude. Make it so. Okay. Triple Crown's on the way. We just rolled over a month. That's why there was a little pause there. Hercules just made $6.8 million. Sweet. So we've got 2 ships in Savannah. Starlifter's right there too. We've got 3 ships heading or in Savannah. Let's check. 22. Okay, we're still good. Oh, I didn't turn this on. I'm an idiot. Forgot to show this because this makes the map look much prettier. Oops. Oh well. Hercules is in. Oh. Hercules has lost some rating, has fallen to a C. I think I'm going to have to look at replacing her. Starlifters, see, there's the reposition. All right. So we'll go ahead and buy. Well, we can't buy fuel. We're good here. Oh, here's another thing. $67,000 a day for 180 days. Fremantle, Brisbane. We can go to Brisbane first in 44 days and then get to Fremantle. Does the math work? The math works. So, go to Brisbane first and go to Fremantle. $4 million. Cool? Cool. From a time perspective, 54, I think we're going to run 10 knots. Yeah, we're good. I've dropped the speeds on some of these ships and it doesn't seem to be helping. Hercules is now idle. Actually, wait. Huh. Durable engine parts. Yeah, I need to get her into a seaport. Okay. Oh my gosh. These contracts suck. But Gdansk, I think, is a seaport. Most of the European... A lot of the European ports are seaports. Gdansk is right here. That's a seaport. Fuel's cheap too. Alright, fine, it's fine, it's fine. We could look to stop at... Le Havre, France, or Antwerp, and see if there's contracts heading that way. So, how would we do that? Well, here's what we do. We can add to queue, and we can say add a stop at Antwerp, or add a stop at Le Havre, right? Or Rotterdam. Those are all along the way. Let's put into... Antwerp. Okay. And then we're going to stop at the port. Now this is saying 32 days. That's kind of close though. It's not a big contract anyway. If we remove this, see, it's going to cost you double. Hercules has already eaten it here too. But we need to get into port. Okay, we're just going to take the contract. Get in there, then we'll do some repairs and stuff. So, there you go. So we're working it. We're working it. We're working it. All right, we're up $70 million. It's December. There's still shares of a couple of those ports available. Wait a minute, that's Haifa. Oh, I'll buy shares in Haifa. Wait. San Lorenzo, I'm not interested in. Haifa, I am interested in. I like to get into Haifa because I like Israel. 34 million? Sure. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to be looking at doing some ship replacement before too long, because our rating's starting to sag a little bit. Look at the chunky A. 13 of 25 years. Okay. Hercules, though, 15 of 25. Hercules is becoming a problem. Starlifter's still brand new. Still got new smell, paint smell, and Triple Crown still new. So we're going to be looking to sell Hercules and upgrade and do that. So we'll look at doing that maybe next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. This is SeaOrama, now available on Steam. Oh, let me just save it here. From Hidden Tower and PID Games and SeaOrama itself. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, please hit that like button. I appreciate you being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Share and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on that bell icon so you know when we go live or upload a video. And you can follow us on Discord. Join us on Discord. Become part of the A-Team. Link in the description below. Also, you can make a donation if you want to help support the channel, help me upgrade some equipment, and you can do that via PayPal. There's a link in the description below as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit that like button and share and subscribe. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, I hope you have a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are on planet Earth or beyond. I'm A-Train. It's over. And